that would land on the carrier. But no, what? No.
You saw it.
You remember when
And back, you can see him again.
That we had people in dress blues
Right there.
and we'd have to salute that there.
When we can. We're muted.
How do you know?
I remember being in dress blues one time at least, and I believe there was one time, well, we went by there a couple of times.
We could see us all up on the screen.
4 times.
We could see us all up on the screen.
I don't remember the undressed blues. I remember the dress blues. I don't remember the undressed blues. They had the dungarees and blue shirts. Our working guard. Not like today when you see them on the TV shows, they're all in camouflage. Yeah. Why are they in camouflage on an aircraft carrier?
Or scoreboard now. Let's see. She's on. So yeah. Here we go. Hi.
1, 2, 3, testing. Louder. Wow, what a crowd we have here today. Thank you all for being here. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. This is our 3rd annual Quilts of Valor program. It's my privilege and honor to welcome all of you to this 3rd Quilts of Valor program at Seven Oaks. In historic perspective, if you would, in 2020, we awarded 8 quilts to veterans in our park. In 2021, we awarded 11 quilts to veterans.
Cool.
As we begin today's program, I would like to offer some special thanks, but by the way, we're awarding 13 quilts today. The committee, we would like to extend a special thanks, personally for me, to Mary Washburn, who was the initiator of the Quilts of Valor program here at Seven Oaks, and to Bill Dedick for putting us on Zoom. I hope my daughter got it. To Kathy Bradford, who's not here with us right now, but her time and talent to this program in the past, and also for the help that she gave us in the final quilting of many of the quilts that will be awarded today. We hope that she too is watching. Oops. To our veterans who escorted, to our veterans who escorted our veterans to this event. To all of the committee, Gail Dennis, Mary Washburn, Cindy Olson, Brigada Cease, Morris Peterson, and Brenda Gatchell. All have
Bright enough, or should I turn on bright enough?
has spent countless selfless hours and talent creating these quilts. They are works of art and fabric replete with love. To all the other volunteers, the decorating committee, the golf cart decorators, the refreshment crew, the technical crew, and the Seven Oaks management for supporting us in this effort. And now our program will begin with some music presented by Steve Seeger. Thank you for that beautiful rendition of the Battle of the Republic. And now our program will begin with a Veterans Prayer presented by Tommy Blonde.
Pray. Dear Lord, I've served my country. My love for her is strong. I've stood behind Old Glory when others thought her wrong. I've joined in celebration and toasted a toast and cheer. I pledged her to my allegiance and sung her anthem dear. I've wept with fallen comrades who proudly fought and died. The freedoms they defended I cherish deep inside. I'm proud I'm an American. For her strength and peace I pray. There is no greater country. God bless the USA.
If I can ask our Grand Marshal, Tony Stark, to come up and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. If everyone would please stand and gentlemen uncover. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you like to sing the national anthem, please?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose white stripes and bright stars through the perilous night, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare from a bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner
Valor is a single lifetime award to active military and veterans. The mission of Quilts of Valor is to cover those service members and veterans touched by war with comforting and healing quilts of valor. Quilts have been sent to all 50 states from volunteers from all 50 states. Since Catherine Roberts began Quilts of Valor Foundation in 2003, as of January 17th, 2022, 300,000 quilts have been awarded to service members and veterans. The volunteers of Quilts of Valor feel deeply the desire to go beyond words and present tangible, physical evidence of their appreciation. Their further desire is that your fight for our freedom, safety, and peace will not be in vain in our lives or the lives of our loved ones. The Quilts of Valor are pieced together and quilted by loving and appreciative hands of hundreds of volunteers across the nation with love, prayers, and healing thoughts. These quilts are lovingly crafted through hours and hours of devotion, and the quilters hope that their quilt wraps you in the love of many grateful Americans.
I have a poem to share. It's called Quilt of Valor. A few pieces of cloth from people who care. To honor your service, it only seems fair. Carefully chosen materials of red, white, and blue, sewn together for those patriotic and true. A top pieced together with caring and pride, then quilted with backing and warm layer inside. Every stitch and every seam sewn from the very start with appreciation and gratitude straight from the heart. For you who have sacrificed, for those here at home, may this quilt warm and comfort you wherever you roam. Our hope with this quilt is to make sure you knew we appreciate all you've done and all you've been through. Thank you. Okay, I'm the first presenter, and I have had the honor this year to make a quilt for Mr. Lynn Washburn. Come forward, please. Lynn served in the United States Army from March 1966 to March 1969 as an artillery surveyor for the Sergeant Missile. This missile came apart to be portable on several trucks. His unit's duties were to deter the Soviet bloc from attacking Europe. As part of his training, his unit went to another site and fired a missile each year. The year Lynn got to go, they went to Crete in the Mediterranean Sea. It was very much winter weather in Germany, but 72 degrees and sunny the whole week they were in Crete. He saw the missile fire that he helped aim so many times during training. He was also able to meet the local people and eat their native food. The island, Crete, was once upon a very powerful and rich center of shipping and trade. There was an ancient home located on Crete called the Palace of Kenosis. Thank you. It was about 150,000 square feet, and construction started around 1900 BC. The palace had running water under the floors and in the bathrooms. The ruins have been excavated and some parts restored. It was an amazing structure. It is my honor and privilege to present Lynn with this Quilt of Valor in recognition of his service to the United States Army. Thank you, Lynn. First. Here's a photographer over there. Okay, yes. Yeah.
Just for a second. Very good.
Now we. It's yours.
I hope it's still be too hot.
Tommy Bolden. Tommy served in the United States Navy, November 1971 to November 1975, as a boiler technician with an E4 rank. His job involved providing steam for the ship's propulsion, utilities, and catapults that launched the planes on board. He had heard that when you joined the Navy, you would see the world. In boot camp, Tommy was told that seeing the world would be through a porthole. In boarding the Oriskany ship, he discovered there were no portholes in the boiler fire room, located 4 decks below. The flight deck was a busy place, and occasionally he could sneak up and watch the flight operations. He remembers the time they were launching planes 24 hours a day, later finding out the ship was on a mission to get the prisoners released from Hanoi in March of 1973. Tommy, it is an honor to present to you this Quilt of Valor. May you find comfort and warmth in knowing your service and dedication to our nation is very much appreciated. No, good thing you're calling. No. Yeah, he's.
There you go.
Yes, you're right, you're right.
Share the music.
There you go. Right.
Scott King. While serving in the United States Navy as a jet radar aircraft technician, Scott earned the rank of E5. He entered the Navy February 1970 at the age of 19 years. His very first plane ride found him headed to boot camp in San Diego, California. While at Navy boot camp, he was drafted into the United States Army. However, Uncle Sam finally realized that he couldn't be in 2 places at the same time. Traveling to Vietnam, his ship stopped in Hawaii. Scott was able to take a tour of the USS Arizona Memorial. While standing on that memorial, Scott thought about the 1,700 men still on board the sunken ship. Their remains are embedded in the USS Memorial. Scott, we honor you for leaving all you held dear to serve, whether in a time of crisis or peace. This Quilt of Valor says thank you for your service and sacrifice in serving our nation.
Go for it. No faces.
I have a little extra to read here. Both Tommy and Scott were on the USS Oriskany in the 1970s at the same time. With over 2,000 men on board, they never knew each other. Their connection was made right out here at Seven Oaks during one of our fabulous happy hours. While reminiscing about their time in the service, they made the discovery, because of the enormous size of the ship, 904 feet in length, they never crossed paths. The Oriskany was built in 1945 after 25 years of service and 30 plus years in storage. The ship was prepared to be sunk. This preparation took 8 months, 7 days per week. The ship was sunk May 17, 2006, off the Pensacola Pass, Florida, at a depth of 212 feet. The 44,000-ton aircraft carrier became the largest artificial reef in the world.
Leonard Van Houten went into the Army May of 1966.
That done? Leonard Van Houten went into the Army May of 1966 and got out May of 1968. He came out of the Army as a Spec 4. He was an aircraft armament repairman. His favorite memory was when his girlfriend came for a weekend and that she waited for him to come home. Leonard went to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri for basic training, and after basic, the Army sent him to school for aircraft armament repair in Aberdeen Proving Grounds in Maryland. He spent the remainder of his service at Fort Rucker, Alabama, working on UH-1B helicopters. Just to note, the girlfriend who waited for him to come home is now his wife for 53 years. And those of you who may not know, Leonard is my brother-in-law. Your quilt was pieced together by me, and it was quilted by Kathy Bradford. It is an honor to present you, Leonard, with this Quilt of Valor. May you find comfort and warmth in knowing your service and dedication to our nation is very much appreciated.
I'd like to present Georgia Kinnaman. Georgia began her basic training at Fort Leonard, Missouri in 1979 for the U.S. Army Reserve. She was chosen by her drill instructor to be the squad leader in a platoon of about 50 women who trained along with 3 male platoons. This was the very first platoon of women to train with men. During her 8 weeks of basic training, she qualified as an expert with the M16, the M60, and the hand grenade. So be careful. Following her basics, she took advanced individual training as a power generator and wheeled vehicle mechanic. So those with RVs, you have problems with your generator, engine, George is the one to check. Upon graduation from advanced individual training, she was then assigned to the U.S. Army Reserve 359th Transportation Battalion in Hampton, Virginia, where she initially worked in the motor pool and then took additional training. We died? Took additional training for a logistics clerk position. Her duties as a logistics clerk included responsibility for efficient movement of combat equipment. So as you all are packing up to head back, if you need help to figure things out, she can load you, help you load. A lot of skills there. She was accepted to train at Fort Monroe in Virginia for NCO school, non-commissioned officer school, where she obtained the rank of Sergeant E5. George's favorite memory was in 1985 when she was nominated by her instructors as Soldier of the Year. In 1986, Georgia obtained her honorable discharge after 6 years of service and rose to the rank of Sergeant at E5 level. And Georgia, thank you for your service. Your quilt, I gotta get my glasses on, yours is smaller. Your quilt was pieced together by Loris Peterson and quilted by Kathy Bradford. It's an honor to present to you, Georgia Kinnaman, with this Quilt of Valor. May you find comfort and warmth in knowing your service and dedication to our nation is very much appreciated.
Take a deep breath here. Would Jim Ford please come up? Thank you for your service. Jim, as he is known to most of us here at Seven Oaks, served in the U.S. Army from April of 1968 until April of 1971. He was an E5 sergeant when he completed his tour of duty. He was from a small town of about 4,000 in Minnesota, the largest town in the county, about 8,000 in population. Back in the day, Minnesota was mostly comprised of individuals of Nordic and European ancestry. In other words, Jim had never really been socialized or met other people of other races and religious persuasions. Basic training at Fort Campbell, Kentucky was Jim's first real exposure to the outside world. As a child and young man, vacation was a foreign concept to his family, so this world was his immediate vicinity in Minnesota, except maybe for fishing. Jim experienced his first airplane ride when he went to Kentucky after enlisting in the Army. Basic training was tough, very tough. It left some lifelong impressions and habits on Jim, some good, some not so good. Jim says one of the not so good habits is eating meals quickly, because in basic training, if your mouth was moving, it had better be chewing, or the sergeant would think you were done with your meal and presume you were done and remove you from the table. After basic training, he volunteered for an assignment at Fort Hood, Texas. That is, in the long run, it was a sweet deal. Anyone who has served in service knows that sometimes those who volunteer first get the best deal. But before volunteering for his assignment, a group of paratroopers came by to try to entice these young recruits into being parachute jumpers. Hello? Does anybody want to jump out of a perfectly sound flying airplane? They enticed them by having young ladies there flanking the paratroopers, making them think that that would be their daily life. Anyways, Jim ended up with the 83rd Engineering Battalion, Company B, at Fort Hood, Texas after basic. Before assuming this job as the exiting clerk had a couple of months left, Jim got to drive a colonel around the base, including wearing a sidearm to protect the colonel if need be. Fort Hood, by the way, at that time and may still be the largest military base in the world as of 2010. It is about 1/3 the size of the state of Rhode Island, to put it in perspective. Jim's job as a company clerk included organizing information for promotions, correspondence, and outprocessing of returning servicemen from Vietnam. Some of those veterans had a difficult time readjusting back to life in the States. One somber responsibility that Jim had was preparing correspondence for notification of families of deceased veterans. The weight of this responsibility has become part of Jim's calm and reassuring demeanor. Jim says he grew up a lot in the military. He learned to work with all walks of people, officers included, and is proud to have served. Although a humble man that he is, he told me he did not deserve this recognition. It is a privilege to share the story of your service to our country. It is my honor as a member of Seven Oaks Quilt of Valor Committee to present you with this Quilt of Valor. May you find comfort and warmth in knowing your service and dedication to our nation is very much appreciated. I was told I had to say, I made this quilt and I quilted it. I have the honor of awarding presenting two quilts to individuals who received them from family members this past summer. I ask Corinne Leonard to come up. Corinne served in the United States Army for 4 years and 3 months.
9 days.
She was counting. Well, she was short. Her tour was extended due to Desert Storm. She completed her tour of service as an E5, that's sergeant in plain English. Corinne was a 96 Bravo, an intelligence analyst. She was responsible for battlefield analysis to predict troop movements, placement, and intentions. Hello. No wonder she knows her husband Mike so well. She was also responsible for strategic analysis of global threats. After arriving at her first duty station in Bolden, Germany, with the 11th Armored Cavalry, she was told, quote, "Ain't no woman in the cavalry," unquote. So began a long bus ride back to Frankfurt, Germany. She was grateful because, quote, "those guys were considered the speed bump to a land war during the Cold War," with a Volga Gap. Corinne met Mike at Primary Leadership Development course in May of 1990. That chapter is still history in the making after 30 years. The military sometimes does the right thing despite the oxymoron military intelligence. Corinne was awarded the Meritorious Service Medal for her analytical contributions during Desert Storm while stationed at the Intelligence and Threat Analysis Center in Washington, D.C. To receive such a prestigious award at the rank of E5 is an unusual recognition. This quilt was made with love by the Butler family in honor of your service. It is our privilege here at Seven Oaks to share your story of service and formally present this quilt to you. May you find comfort and warmth in knowing your service and dedication to our nation is very much appreciated.
Unlike the others, I'm going to say a couple of words here. Because you know I'm not shy. Having been a soldier, active duty soldier during time of war, and being a spouse of an active duty soldier during a time of war, the spouses have it much, much harder. So to all of you, spouses with soldiers, I salute you.
Mike Leonard, would you please join me at the podium? Mike Leonard retired from the United States Army after 21 years and 1 month of service. For the first 12 plus years, Mike was an enlisted soldier, then became a warrant officer, retiring as a Chief Warrant Officer 3. The military is a mosaic of jobs, some obvious, some less so. Mike had a very unique and specialized job as a deep sea diver. No, he was not in the Navy, he was in the Army. As a warrant officer, he held the job of Marine engineer. He could have told me more stories about his jobs, but then he probably would have had to have killed me, as most of his jobs sounded fairly clandestine. Mike is and should be proud of his military accomplishments. He successfully graduated from deep sea diver training that had a failure rate of 75%. He has a singular distinction of being the only individual to launch a Russian-made surface-to-air missile from underwater and live to tell about it. More details about this story could be shared while enjoying an adult beverage. I think Mike likes a good single malt whiskey. After advancing to the, Corinne approved it. After advancing to the rank of warrant officer, Mike served as an engineering officer aboard a U.S. Army Navy experimental high-speed catamaran while sailing the oceans and seas of the world. There is a catalog of memories that Mike has that he could probably go on for a while. But his best memory, he said, are encompassed in the privilege of serving with some of the finest and most highly motivated and trained individuals this country has to offer. This quilt was made with love by the Butler family to honor your service. It is our privilege here at Seven Oaks to share your story of service and formally present your Quilt of Valor to you. And you have comfort and warmth in knowing that your service and dedication to our nation is appreciated.
Paul Cease served in the United States Air Force from December 1974 to August 1975 and left the service as a senior airman. 78. Oh, that's what it says. I can't read. I'm old. Some of you would know what it's like to be old, right? He was a Morse systems operator. This group of airmen were nicknamed Divvy Boppers because of the sound of the Morse code. Paul was responsible for intercepting Morse code messages from foreign countries and recording them. He also served as an administrative specialist. His first tour of duty was to San Vito dei Nomani in Italy. While in Italy, Paul was able to travel and visit other countries. His second tour of duty was at Duluth, Minnesota, where he met and married Brigitte. Their daughter, Natlin, is able to be with them here for a while. We're very glad that she's here too. It is an honor to present you with this Quilt of Valor. May you find comfort and warmth in knowing your service and dedication to our nation is very much appreciated. This quilt was I made, and it was quilted by Sharon Crosswise. Thank you for your service. Are you the only airman in the group? We have Navy, but I think you're the only airman.
His daughter's in the Air Force.
Oh. Okay, Pat, would you come up? Pat Robshaw served in the United States Army from October 1971 to May 1973, and her last rank was PFC E3. Her primary job was 72 Bravo classified communication. However, she worked as a 71B clerk typist, as none of her assignments had communication center job openings when she arrived. Pat had to admit to me that typing was her worst skill, though. Pat grew up in a small town outside of Boston. She was 18 years old and 7 months out of high school when she entered the Army. When arriving at Fort Gordon, Georgia, she was informed that there were 3 30,000 GIs on base and only 135 women. Also, that it would be smart to not go anywhere after dark alone. That was a rude awakening for her. This quilt was made by Ann Archer, a longtime resident of this community, and quilted by Kathy Bradford. Ann made this quilt in honor of her father, who served in World War II. In an honor to present you with this Quilt of Valor, may you find comfort and warmth in knowing your service and dedication to our nation is very much appreciated. I have to say that presenting a quilt to a lady is important to me. My mother served in World War II as an Army nurse. The other one that I'm going to recognize today is Dwayne Burrow. Dwayne served, let me tell you, he's not feeling real well. He has a cold, so he didn't want to come and contaminate us all. So he will be in the outside parade.
And he's watching.
Yeah, he's watching. So tell him hi. Hi. Dwayne served in the U.S. Army from July 1964 to August 1967 and got out as Sergeant E5. His job was Communications Signal Corps. He provided communications for the Hawk Missile Battalion at Ansbach, Germany. His basic training was at Fort Leonard Wood. He wrote Leonard, but I thought it was Lost in the Woods. That's what I heard it called. And radio training at Fort Gordon, Georgia. He left the U.S. for Germany on a ship, USS William Darby. He reports that it was a very rough ride across the ocean, and he was in one of the last groups that went by ship. He's very thankful, though, when he came home, he came by airplane. Dwayne enjoyed his time in Germany, but always counted the days until he could come home. His quilt that you can see, we gave it to him at 1 o'clock back to him. It was given to him by some friends back home. And so he's also one of the ones that asked us to present it to him. This quilt was given to Dwayne without a ceremony. So we are very honored to present it to him today. We did that at 1.
I have the privilege of reading Ron Kinnaman's bio. Come up here, Ron. Ron and I have known each other for, 10, 12 years? Long time. Longer than that. Too long. Ron entered the Navy, United States Navy in 1975 and retired in 2000. He entered in 1975 and served as an aviation anti-submarine warfare operator and assigned as an acoustic sensor operator in the S-3A Viking jet aircraft. He deployed to the Indian Ocean on the USS Enterprise, CVN-65, where he had over 70 takeoffs and landings, Navy terminology, caps and traps. His memorable moments, other than being shot off and landing on an aircraft carrier at the age of 20, was training required to deploy as an air crewman. He was required to attend SEER school, which is Survival, Evasion, Resistance, and Escape, a 5-day course, including a mock prisoner of war camp and JEST, a 4-day jungle environmental survival training in the Philippines. Both extremely memorable to this day, but not for any good reasons, because they did not play. However, DWEST, Deep Water Environmental Survival Training, he thought was fun. Pretty much jump off the back of a boat, get drugged through the water for a while, inflate a one-man raft, and wait in the Pacific Ocean, bobbing around for a few hours until a helicopter plucks you out of the water. Following his sea tour duty, he earned his degree in accounting and was accepted to Officer Candidate School and commissioned as ensign in 1982. He volunteered for submarine duty and served as supply officer aboard the USS Hammerhead, SSN 663, and deployed to the Mediterranean Sea. All he can say is he remembers those 3 years on the Hammerhead as the toughest, yet most thrilling years of his career. Follow-on tours, he served as Administrative Contracting Officer, Defense Contract Administration Service, Management Area, San Francisco, Assistant Logistics Officer, Marine Corps Air Station, Iwakuni, Japan, Submarine Support Officer, USS Emory S. Land, AS-39, Procurement Officer, Norfolk Naval Shipyard, and after earning his master's degree in business, he retired at the rank of commander in 2000 after serving as contracting officer, Fleet and Industrial Supply Center, Norfolk. Following his military retirement, he continued his service for 18 more years at Newport News Shipbuilding, where he ultimately served as company stock manager and assisted in the construction of 4 nuclear-powered carriers and 24 Virginia-class fast-attack nuclear submarines.
The quilt being presented to Ron today was made by Brigida Cease, and I want to say it's her very first quilt she's ever made. And it was quilted by Sharon Crosswhite. It is an honor to present you, Ron, with this Quilt of Valor. May you find comfort and warmth in knowing your service and dedication to our nation is very much appreciated.
Yeah, you're one that's left. All right, may I have Dan Wilson up to the podium, please? Dan began his career in the United States Navy in January of 1974, serving until January of 1978, and discharged as 3rd class petty officer. Dan was assigned to the United States Navy Construction Battalion, also known as Seabees, doing general maintenance and upkeep, and as a project timekeeper. While serving, his favorite and most memorable, as he said, I better say, was getting married to Kathy in 1976 in the middle of his enlistment. After that, he was proud of being a part of Navy gunner's mate, 1st class Charles Miller, who, while assigned to security details aboard 2 different merchant marine ships, survived being sunk by German U-boats during World War II. Amazing. It is my honor to present you with this Quilt of Valor. May you find comfort and warmth in knowing your service and dedication to our nation is very much appreciated. And I pieced this quilt, and it was quilted by Sharon Crosswhite.
Would Tony like to come up with me? Tony, step up. Tony wanted to say a few words to the veterans and to the group here. Would you like to say it, or would you like me? The same thing.
With that addition, no, on it. First of all, how many remember?
Microphone
41. How many remember 1941, December 7th? Nobody?
We weren't born yet, but yes.
I was born 1933. And I want to say a few words to my fellow veterans. I was drafted in 1942. Now, somebody's going to say, is he a liar or what he is? Well, it happened. I lived on a farm in Nebraska, and my dad, he was he done everything. He was a roadmaster, he was a supervisor, he was a tax guy, he done this, he done that. But anything that he did, he always had his kids do it, which I was the only kid. I was only 9 years old. But what did I want to say? 1942 in March, there was a colonel and a sergeant that come on our farm, and they said, Henry, that's my dad, you are in charge of 10 square miles of farm ground to collect for the duration of the war, which was, we'll start with milkweed pods. So everybody's what the hell did they do with milkweed pods? Well, they were used to make parachutes. Some of those kids would come up and say, well, we want to give you this and that. I said, wait a minute, where'd you get them nuts and bolts? Well, out of my dad's garage. But anyway, that's the way it was. And let's see. Even though I've served as a soldier at main generation before you did, like I say, I was drafted in 1942. For 9 years. And then we have similar memories of everybody here. And there was a lot of work, and there was a lot of fun with young women priming their lives to set. And at this time, I would like to have the women stand up again, because I think that's the best thing that ever happened. I know, like me, some of you think you're not deserving of a Quilt of Valor, but by giving your time to the country to protect the country, you are deserving. Thank you much for your service.
God bless.
89, 32 years, but I'm not coming back. I can't make it anymore. Listen up.
As we did last year, we would like to actually do a formal folding of the American flag with Mike Leonard reading to us the meaning of the colors of the flag and the meaning of each fold of the flag. So I can ask Bill Fullingham, Richard Gieselman, and Mike.
What do the colors of the flag mean? According to custom and tradition, white signifies purity and innocence. Red, hardiness and valor, and blue signifies vigilance, perseverance, and justice. The American flag is one of the most important symbols of the United States. Folding the American flag into a triangle folds means. The first fold of the flag is a symbol of life. The second fold of the flag is a symbol of the belief in eternal life. The third fold is made in honor and remembrance of the veterans departing the ranks who gave a portion of their lives to the defense of the country to attain peace throughout the world. The fourth fold represents the weaker nature, for as American citizens trusting in God, it is to Him we turn in times of peace as well as in times of war for His divine guidance. The fifth fold is a tribute to the country, for in the words of Stephen Decatur, our country, in dealing with other countries, may she always be right, but it's still our country, right or wrong. The sixth fold is for where people's hearts lie. It is with their heart that they pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The seventh fold is a tribute to its armed forces, for it is through the armed forces that they protect their country and their flag against all enemies, whether they be found within or without the boundaries of their republic. The eighth fold is a tribute to the one who entered into the valley of the shadow of death, that he might see the light of day. The ninth fold is a tribute to womanhood and mothers, for it has been through their faith, their love, loyalty, and devotion that the character of men and women who have made this country great has been molded. The 10th fold is a tribute to the Father, for He too has given His sons and daughters for the defense of their country since they were first born. The 11th fold represents the lower portion of the seal of King David and King Solomon, and glorifies in the Hebrews' eyes the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The 12th fold represents an emblem of eternity and glorifies in the Christian's eyes God the Father, the Son, and Holy Spirit. The 13th fold, or when the flag is completely folded, the stars are uppermost, reminding them of their nation's motto, "In God we trust." After the flag is completely folded and tucked in, it takes on the appearance of a cocked hat. ever reminding us of the soldiers who served under General George Washington and the sailors and Marines who served under Captain John Paul Jones, who were followed by their comrades and shipmates in the armed forces of the United States, preserving for them the rights, privileges, and freedoms they enjoy today.
Tribute to all who gave some and all who gave all. The Veterans Home. Well done, good and faithful vets. You have served faithfully day by day and honored our precious nation that we proudly call the USA. You left your home and loved ones and all your dreams and plans to protect the freedoms we all hold dear at home and in foreign lands. With heroes' hearts, you went forth to do all that you could do as you offered your lives to protect us all under our old red, white, and blue. No glory did you seek for self or fame for your own name, but you went forth humbly for the cause that would never bring you fame. Because of your pain and suffering, we still live in a land that's free, where we all can live in peace in our great land of liberty. So today we honor each one of you, and we pray God bless you all for each of you who gave so much and for each one that gave all. Thank you, everyone. It has been an honor to be part of this Quilts of Valor presentation ceremony today. We want to thank each and every one of you for your support of Seven Oaks in this effort. A special thank you to each veteran and their families who selflessly gave a portion of their youth to serve a grateful nation. I invite you to come and enjoy beverage and cookies. Then please prepare for the parade of honor, which should be at about, I'm guessing, 4:45, as we will have cookies and beverages, and there will be pictures before the parade begins. The parade will go around each street once, and we will take more photos, as I already stated, of the honorees and their quilts. Thank you again.
Thank you. Or
Get it all, Bill?
I think so. We had a few interruptions. There was had some internet dropouts about 3 or 4 times, but we're streaming right now. We're doing good. We lost when Mike presented to Tony.
Right.
We didn't get the salute to Tony. So disappointed, but a lot of people on.
There was a crowd.
Hello. I think we forgot to thank Bill because a lot of our families at home could see this. So thank you, Bill.
But
Be sure and get cookies and drinks.
Is there a recording of this at all?
it's recording right now.
Great.
Still, it'll be on YouTube. We'll be posting this on YouTube. I'll upload it. It'll be a long YouTube video, but you'll be able to fast forward and all that
Great.
through it.
Well, thanks for doing it. I
Oh,
think
you're
it's so
welcome.
important. It makes you feel really good.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that can't be here.
I'm following you.
This is the cookie line.
There was a whole box up there on the floor that everybody kept taking and handing out.
Okay, I think we're going to go ahead and sign off. Thank you to everybody that that attended this Zoom meeting. We will upload this to YouTube. A link will be sent out by Seven Oaks.
Danny, where are you going?
I'm lost. Lost. I can't help you.
Is there a water leak down there?
Is there a water leak down there? Yeah. Wave, Tony, at everybody. Wave at everybody.
I will.
I'm going to go over to the other side, get the veterans. That quilt make it pretty nice here in South Texas in this cold we're having.
It will be curled up by the end.
Thank you
Thanks.
for your service. Thank you for your service, Dwayne.
Welcome.
Thank you for your service, Mike.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you for your service, Pat. Got that princess wave.
Here we go. Here we go.
You're dressed appropriately, Lynn. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service, Georgia. Thank you for your service, Scott.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service, Jim.
Thank you. Gotta show this off here.
Yeah, there you go. Keep you warm.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service, Tommy. Thank you for your service, Leonard. Thank you for your service, Dan.